Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Weird World Podcast.
Where we talk about weed in the world.
Weed World Podcast.
You know what? Maybe we can change the genre a little bit. Hey, welcome to the Weed World Podcast, if that's the kind of thing you're into. Otherwise, it's the Weird World Podcast. I'm Dean.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Carrie.
Today, Carrie is going to bring us something, I don't know, either about weed or it's going to be weird. I'm not sure which. Carrie?
I was going to say, if we changed it to Weed World, we'd probably have more listeners.
Almost certainly.
But I don't know anything about weed. So.
No, you don't. Only that it doesn't affect her, which is weird.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh my God.
We can marry the concepts together. The Weird Weed Podcast. All right?
Exactly one episode.
Yes.
Last
Carrie
10 minutes.
doesn't get high. The end.
It's just a special. We'll just do like a special.
There you go.
Okay. All right.
Which
All
I
right.
think we just did.
Yeah. Thank you.
I am going to talk. Well, I'll take you back in time in history, Dean. This is your favorite thing. Do you have your timeline ready?
I'm gonna do a timeline, yes.
1780s.
1780.
Paris, France.
Wow.
Got it.
It's like a bajillion years ago.
It's
Yeah.
pretty much. There was a Viennese physician named Franz Anton Mesmer. Ever heard of him?
I sure have.
Nope.
Well, he claimed that there was a mysterious force in the universe called animal magnetism.
George Lucas, years later, would trade that in for Star Wars. The Force be with you? No, never.
Sorry.
Carrie knows it only has the Schwartz be with you because she knows Star Wars through Mel Brooks only.
Yeah.
Yes. Spaceballs. For anybody who didn't know that reference.
They all did.
So this animal magnetism could cause people to get ill when it was perturbed. I don't know how that might happen. And only he, meaning Mesmer, Dr. Mesmer, and anybody that he had trained in his methods could fix it. Only they could perceive it and then unperturb it.
That's very convenient. Mm-hmm. That's basically the whole thing behind priest and religion.
Yep. And probably a few other things.
Sure.
But this Mesmer's method of unperturbing animal magnetism was very weird. And, this is back in the days of bloodletting and, poisoning people to cure them of colds or whatever else ailed them. And people who had things like fatigue, numbness, paralysis, and chronic pain would go to Mesmer's office and they would sit around an oak cask filled with water and they would grab onto metal rods immersed in the water. And then Mesmer would chant, play a glass harmonium, whatever that is.
It's a harmonium made out of glass.
What's a harmonium?
It's a musical instrument.
Oh.
I can keep going. Bring it on.
I picture like a flute-like thing.
Why not?
Yeah. And because it's made of glass.
Almost positive it's not, but go ahead. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Well,
This
we're
is
gonna
what we
have to look it up.
imagine.
And he would wave his hands at these patients. The patients would twitch and cry and sometimes even lose consciousness. And then they would be carried to a recovery room. And they would be cured.
Notice all those ailments you listed are ailments that are very hard to prove you really have or
Yeah.
don't have.
Yes.
I imagine there was some early fibromyalgia sufferers in his
Chronic
group.
pain.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, paralysis. Well, I guess you could fake being
Of course you could.
paralyzed.
Or it could be psychosomatic very easily.
Yeah.
Stand really still.
And yet when somebody yells fire and you don't move, that's impressive.
Well, Dr. Mesmer's results were so good that he pretty much always had people lined up at his door waiting for the next session.
Wow.
Well, the king got wind of this.
King of France?
Probably, since that's where this was happening.
So he was Vietnamese, but he's practicing in France.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the king found out about this Mesmer guy doing these weird things, and he was suspicious of it, rightly so. Do you know who the king was?
King
at the time?
Louis I want to say
14th.
16th?
I don't know.
The guy who
Probably a
would
Louis,
later
though.
lose his head in not too long after this.
Well, he decided he wanted to get to the bottom of what Mesmer was doing, so he set up a group to investigate it. One very famous American was in this group,
Benjamin Franklin?
Benjamin Franklin,
Oh.
who was at the time the American ambassador to France.
Cool.
And
And a highly regarded scientist.
yes, and so the king wanted them to test Mesmer's methods and figure out if, how he was accomplishing what he was doing. Well, they determined that it was the imagination of the patients that was making them feel better after attending Mesmer's ritual treatments. This imagination is what we now know of as
The placebo effect.
Should we do a TV series? I'm going to pitch it to Netflix.
Okay.
Benjamin Franklin investigates, and he does all kind. He goes, travels the world investigating paranormal phenomena and things like that.
Yes, and Paul Giamatti can play
Paul Giamatti.
Ben
yes.
Franklin.
I like
I'm
it.
pretty sure he has before.
Well, he can do it again.
He can do it again. He'll reprise the role.
And his partner will be some smoking hot 20-something who was like, she's a widow, and he solved her case, so now she helps him out, and she's wealthy, and she supports his travels. I've got it all figured
Wasn't
out.
he a famous womanizer?
Franklin?
Yeah.
He liked the ladies.
Ben Franklin was a pretty bad guy.
Nice.
so.
Bad, like bad motherfucker. Like
No,
that.
I mean like
No.
like
Well, he would probably be problematic today. He might be me too.
Little
is
bit.
What we're saying.
Little
he-
bit. I'm
did
pretty
he,
sure
like-
everyone from the 18th century would be problematic.
did he
today.
own
So-
slaves too?
No, he did
Benjamin
not.
Franklin, no.
He was a Quaker in Philadelphia. Slaves. How dare you slander Benjamin
I don't
Franklin?
fucking know.
He was a Quaker.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm related. I have Quaker ancestors.
Because Carrie has a couple of Quaker ancestors. She thinks she's related to all Quakers. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good sound
Well,
logic.
you know.
Okay, so Ben Franklin investigates with a hot 20-something baroness.
Okay.
Got it. And he
Show
found out
pitched.
imagination.
Now we're going to fast forward to 1955.
Whoa, hold on. Timeline just
1955.
Yes.
55. Got it.
Well, because,
So wait.
bloodletting and all that kind of crap still kept going on.
So what happened to did Mesmer's practice take a hit, or did people pretty much ignore it like they would
I don't
nowadays?
know.
I think he was still.
I think he's still-
He founded mesmerism, which was the
Yeah.
it was hypnosis, what we
Hypnotism.
now call hypnosis.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Wait a second.
What?
Is that where the word mesmerize comes from?
Yes, that's
Yes.
exactly where the
Stop
word
it. You're
mesmerize comes
kidding.
from.
Oh my God, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. I mean, they probably let him keep practicing because he
I don't-
was helping people.
I doubt they could stop him from
Yeah.
practicing. He wasn't like a licensed doctor. They didn't have that kind of thing back then. So
yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. I think the king just wanted to find out what was actually going on.
Yep.
Maybe he needed help.
He had
He had
restless
some
leg
pain.
syndrome, and he
Yeah.
thought this guy can help me. And then Ben Franklin said,
No, he
no, I
can't.
So in 1955, at a meeting of the American Medical Association,
Mm-hmm.
there was a Harvard surgeon named Henry Beecher,
Henry Beecher.
and he pointed out to his colleagues at this meeting that what they might have thought that placebos were fake medicine, they still couldn't argue with the fact that the effects were real, that it actually worked. And he had been looking at it, and he had found that placebos could relieve anxiety and post-operative pain, and that they could actually change the blood chemistry of patients in a way similar to how drugs did.
So by 1955, placebo effect was named and understood, or at least accepted.
I think so.
When did that? Do you know when that happened? When it started to become scientifically studied and more or less at least a quantity. Whether or not you think it's true or how effective it is, people understood there was this thing called the placebo effect.
Yeah. I'm not
It sounds like clearly it's before
sure.
1955 because he's
Yeah.
talking about it.
I'm not sure exactly when it was named, but you know what placebo means?
Joseph Placebo. He was a well-known pimp.
No, it's
actually.
Latin.
Okay.
It's from a Latin
What does it mean?
root. It means I shall please.
Oh, whoa. That's going to be my porn name.
Joe Placebo.
No, Buck Placebo.
Well,
Hold on, I'm writing down my porn name. Buck Placebo. Okay.
he also found that placebos could even cause side effects.
Yeah.
The mind is a powerful thing.
And he told his fellow doctors that 1/3 of patients would actually get better when given a placebo, a treatment that, medically does nothing.
Yeah, famously, sugar pills is what people would often say. There was an episode of MASH, which took place during the Korean War, which is the early 1950s, where they
Yes.
ran out of pain medication and they used placebo, fake pills, sugar pills.
Yeah.
And they would just point these are the most powerful painkillers we have. You can only have one. Otherwise, it'll have bad side effects. It'll just knock your pain out. And it was
And it worked.
It did work, but some people were like, Doc, I'm still feeling it, man. Okay, I'll give you one more.
Yeah. That story's in my notes here.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Did I ruin it? Spoiled it?
No, you didn't. But what you did, and I'll talk about this now, just real quickly.
What you did do.
What you did fuck up
But
is
placebo.
No, you did hit on one thing that does affect how well the placebo method works,
Ooh.
or the placebo effect is how it's delivered to a
Yeah.
patient.
Oh, yeah.
So if what was the head doctor's name?
Alan Alda. Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
Something.
when Dr. Hawkeye.
I picture Henry Morgan doing it, but I guess Hawkeye
No,
probably
he was
did
like
it
the
too.
head of the
that's what I'm talking
colonel or
about.
something like that. No, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. I'm
He
sure
was
it's
doctor.
Hawkeye.
But
I
anyway,
know, but it was Hawkeye.
Okay, so Hawkeye
That
or,
has to be Hawkeye.
or Trevor John.
Trapper John, MD,
Who
or
are
the guy
these
who
people?
was after him. I don't know his name. Trapper John was only on a couple of years, and then the other guy took over for him. I don't know his
Okay,
name.
well anyway, Emma's
It's like
so
MASH. I've never
confused.
heard of that. That was the 80s. In fact, the 70s.
I know the show MASH, but I've never even seen a single episode.
Well, but so if they deliver it, present the patient with this medication and with a lot of attention and care and empathy and,
And a white lab coat.
Yes, a stethoscope around his
Yep.
neck.
it works better.
Not a clown nose and
No.
a fright wig.
No.
Robin Williams. Okay.
Yes. If patients feel cared about by their medical providers, the placebo effect works better. But so anyway, this Dr. Beecher basically introduced the measure by which we now compare all other drugs.
The Beecher measure?
Two.
The Beecher inch?
No, the placebo.
I was looking for a named measure. Or something.
So, he was basically introducing that here's how we can measure if Tylenol works or how well it works. We will measure, we will give some patients Tylenol.
Okay.
We'll give the other patients the placebo.
Okay.
And then if Tylenol works better than the placebo, then it works.
That really messes up control groups because what the placebo group is what you're calling. That's a control group in an experiment.
Correct.
And so that really screws with that because the control group should have no effect whatsoever. That's the idea
Yes.
of a null hypothesis.
Yes.
So if the control group does have a quote unquote medical effect, if that effect is psychological, then that could make the real effective medicine look less effective than it really is.
So essentially, what they were doing is calculating the true effect of the proposed medication, Tylenol, in my example, by subtracting the placebo response
Okay.
from the overall response.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. But so, in dumb numbers, if this scale of 0 to 100 and 0 is no effect whatsoever, your control should have a 0.
Yeah.
And if the medication is considered effective at 40 minus 0 is a plus 40 net, but if it's 40 minus 30 because there was an effect, then it's not that effective, so we won't use it. So it basically resets 0 to whatever the effect of the placebo is, and that could cause you to mismeasure the effect of the actual medication. Sorry.
that's all right.
I know what I mean.
We got it.
I do know what you mean too. So this is basically how we started evaluating drugs in the mid 1950s.
Huh.
Super
Do
cool.
we still do it that way?
Yeah.
I question that.
Yeah. Well,
I think we need a new
So do a
method.
lot of people.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Shoot.
definitely do.
I thought I was going to be alone in that, and I was going to have to start a one-man crusade.
No,
But I'm glad to hear it.
I think it should be safe to say that any system implemented in the 50s, if it's still in place, we should revamp it.
That's probably fair.
I just believe, it's outdated.
yes.
Well, I personally believe that such as and that.
Such as and that.
In 1962 is when the FDA began to require pharmaceutical companies to prove their new drugs were effective before they came to market.
What the fuck?
And all supplements and vitamins still to this
Still do.
day do not have to prove anything whatsoever. No efficacy test
know.
of any sort. No regulation at all.
Yeah.
This is insane.
So today, a prospective new drug has to outperform placebos in 2 independent studies
That's interesting.
in order to get FDA approval.
I mean, you could argue that that's just a more conservative way of ensuring that that drug
works.
is highly effective. I
Yeah.
suppose. I still think there's probably a better way to do that. Don't you think?
I
Is
don't
to
know how.
we need to reconfigure the control. Well, the control can be you're not getting anything. You're not given any drug whatsoever. We're going to measure these 10 people over here. no treatment whatsoever, because then you at least would hopefully not have a quote unquote placebo effect, where they think like it's pain medication.
Yes.
The placebo makes you think your pain is
But
less.
you knew who could have a placebo effect?
Who?
The people actually taking the medication.
That's true too. You're right.
So that's why the true effect is
I
subtracting the
see.
placebo effect from the overall effect.
I withdraw
Yes.
my whole condemnation of the last 5 minutes.
Yes. I knew that in my head, but I couldn't explain it.
I
to you.
take back everything.
So there's a guy named Ted, last name Kapchuk.
Okay, good.
He wrote a book about Chinese medicine. And so he was looking into the possibility that the placebo effects are what's actually working in things like acupuncture.
Oh, yeah.
And
All naturopathy, period. Naturopathy, how we pronounce that
Yeah.
made up word.
homeopathy, all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
anything
Yeah.
like that has
So another thing Ted Kapchuk did was he was doing a study on irritable bowel syndrome.
IBS.
Yep.
Fraser's wife.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
What's his name? Yes.
Sorry. She was a famous IBS sufferer. She was a
Yeah. Former wife. I don't think they're
Oh.
married
Oh, I have
anymore,
no idea, but
yeah.
but
Oh, I know
she
who you're
was
talking about.
what's his name's wife, and
Kelsey
she
Grammer.
went very public
Mm-hmm.
about it. She actually shit herself on an airplane once, and I made that up. That's not true. But
If you have
she did-
IBS, you maybe will shit yourself on an airplane.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think a lot of people have IBS.
oh, I think you say a lot of people have shit themselves on airplanes.
That's probably true too.
You know, it's a surprising amount of grown adults who shit their pants.
31%
What, on a
of
regular
I
my
think
basis?
it's about 42%, yeah. No, not on a regular basis, but have shit their pants at least once in adulthood.
Really?
I've never shit my pants. I haven't shit my pants since I was a baby.
well, because they just put off going to the bathroom, or because they were ill.
This is a gross side discussion that doesn't need
Because
to.
anybody can have diarrhea.
Okay, let's move
and
on. We're moving on
Not
now.
make it to the toilet.
Let's go. Let's go. Bro,
Anyway,
rein
okay.
it in. Rein it in.
So, this test of patients with irritable bowel syndrome, they were separated into 3 groups. In one group, they were being treated by an acupuncturist,
Okay.
but the acupuncturist just went through all of the motions
Oh,
of
no
doing the
needles in the skin?
treatment, and used a device that only looked like it was inserting a needle. It didn't actually puncture the skin.
It's a hologram.
In another group, they also got a fake acupuncture thing, but it was delivered with an even more elaborate doctor-patient interaction than the first group.
He was older and even more Chinese, so he thought that's going to
Possibly.
be very convincing to people.
And the third group got no treatment at all. So at the end, both of the treatment groups, the people that have got the fake acupuncture, improved more than the no treatment group, but the group with the higher doctor or
Yeah.
caregiver, whatever interaction, did the best.
The group with the doctor that was selling the idea of acupuncture did the best.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That clearly implies psychology is involved.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's no physical thing happening at all.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
It's all placebo.
that's even the more effective when there is that psychological connection that's more intense
Yep.
than the other condition. That's a good study.
So this Ted Kapchuk, he actually worked at Harvard.
I call him TK.
He had been a acupuncturist
Oh.
before, and he wasn't even bothered when he discovered that what he had been doing wasn't actually doing anything. That it
Good
was
for him.
That it was probably
Really?
all the placebo effect.
Wait, wasn't
Mature
bothered and
way.
like continued to be an acupuncturist, or wasn't bothered and stopped doing acupuncture?
I don't know. This could have been after he'd already stopped doing it,
Okay.
but because he never really thought that placebos were fake, you know,
Right.
because it actually worked. But he was more interested in how the strength of the treatment affected the quality of
Yeah.
the outcome.
That is an interesting part of that experiment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
The thing that he thinks is important or is a factor in how well the placebo effect even works is the ritual involved, because that's basically what Mesmer was doing, right? Chanting and, running around,
Yeah.
doing whatever he was doing. And also that's also like a factor in like a lot of Native American healing. It seems to be very ritual based as well.
A lot of it. I mean, going not just Native American, but I'm going to go with Australia.
Don't throw out.
And I'm going to go European.
There's many cultures that
Yes.
Think about
have
the
ritualistic practices.
You go to the doctor's office. He wears a white lab coat.
It's
He has
all-
some. It's it's just a different kind of ritual.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're exactly right.
Oh, thank you. I'm surprised.
He's hitting it on the head.
Wow. Except for my big miss earlier, where I condemned the
Yes.
whole, and but I withdrew that.
Yeah, you took it back.
Dean's friend TK
TK?
wrote Ted Kapchuk.
Oh, Teddy K, Carrie. Teddy
K.
K.
Oh, I thought you called
Ted
him
K.
TK. Well, he wrote that rituals actually trigger specific neurobiological pathways that specifically modulate bodily sensations, symptoms, and emotions.
I love
So
that.
so he's arguing they are impacting your body just in a
Correct.
for lack of a better term, psychosomatic. I know that's not the term anymore.
Yes.
But
Yes.
in that
Yes.
fashion.
And so he's basically saying if your mind can basically be persuaded,
Okay.
right, that you're being healed, then for some reason your body feels that it's being
So
healed.
you just kind of manifest it. You manifest healing.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get into this, but there's a potential here for is your mind really physically doing something to you, or is it just you accepting that there's been a change and believing that there's been a change as opposed to there being an actual real measurable change?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Ted Kapchuk also found out that you don't even have to deceive the patients. You don't even have to trick them. You can hand
That's the whole point. That's the
specifically
fun.
with IBS. You can give a patient who has irritable bowel syndrome a sugar pill, tell them it's a sugar pill, and that sugar pills are known to be effective as placebos, and that patient will feel better. You know, their symptoms of IBS will be relieved,
Yeah.
especially if you take the time to discuss it with them and in a warm and caring environment. And, you know, if you take the time and give them the attention and all that kind of stuff.
This is the best goddamn sugar pill you're ever going to have.
Dude.
See, the part I'm a little bothered by that is that telling them sugar pills and placebos have been known to be effective. Don't tell them that. I mean,
Yeah.
to really not deceive them, you wouldn't even say that. You just say, this treatment I'm giving you is completely fake. There's nothing involved here whatsoever. And then, I don't know. I guess, but because the ritual that you're talking about is still kind of the placebo process in a sense. You're still kind of delivering this placebo, method.
But if it's delivered in that way,
it could diminish it too, but it still seems like
yeah.
I don't know. I think there's probably a better way.
because here's other things that tend to respond very well to the placebo effect: depression, back pain is a big one.
How about back knee?
I don't think so.
Completely befuddled your mother there.
That's
for a second.
Because
She
you put
just
the emphasis on the knee. Like, what's a back pain?
back
I don't know
pain,
what a
back knee. Absolutely stunned her into silence.
She just looked at you like, what the fuck?
What's happening?
I didn't even know you knew what back knee was.
Oh, sure.
Yes, teenagers had.
Okay.
Yeah, I killed them all.
They're all
Is that what
adults
you're
now.
implying? Okay.
Chemotherapy-related malaise. So
Malaise, not the sickness, but just the tiredness, the fatigue.
chemotherapy is not a sickness. It's
No,
a
the sickness
treatment.
from chemotherapy, Carrie, obviously.
Like not the vomiting or
The nausea.
probably, yeah,
You said
probably.
malaise. Malaise is
Yeah,
a
I don't know.
fatigue.
I don't
Well, it's a
fucking
big
know.
difference. One is measurable, the other is not. There's a huge difference. If do chemotherapy sufferers stop throwing up, or do they just say they're less tired?
Probably
That's
not.
a huge
it's
difference.
probably just less tired because
Yeah.
they would say malaise and nausea.
I don't think they
right?
would. Yeah.
Migraine,
Okay.
which is also a big one. PTSD.
Oh, that's one of the worst ones. I hate that.
you hate PTSD.
Yeah.
So all of these conditions are not all of the conditions, but part of a list of conditions that actually respond to placebos as well as they do to drugs with some patients.
So placebos can be just as effective for those things.
Yeah.
I get that.
And especially think about like for pain.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
much better is that than getting patients addicted to opioids and stuff like that?
Much better.
Much better.
I have to imagine, though, it's not as consistent and reliable. So if you
No.
give someone
Yes.
a placebo and they're in intense pain,
Yes.
And it doesn't work in a way that opiates are going to work in
Yeah.
almost every time.
And it's
Right.
not going to work on everybody either.
Yeah.
For
Correct.
reasons that we'll talk about in a minute.
Oh.
So one theory is like, well, why don't we use this more? Why aren't doctors really giving patients more placebos than they are, for instance, pain medication and stuff like that? And part of the reason is they really don't understand very well how it works. And so they don't know when and how to use it, right?
Yeah. And who to use it on. Like you said, it's going to be more
Right.
effective on different people.
And one thing that you talked about is like, is it really working or is it just the patient's perception that it's working? And they've actually used functional MRIs. And these are, specific, I don't know how they work.
Okay.
It's science. But they basically, an MRI is like looking at your internal
Yeah.
workings, right? So if they do a functional MRI on your brain, they can tell in your brain
What part of your brain, like the pain
Yes.
center is, shooting out pain stuff.
Yes. So if they do a functional MRI on somebody who's been given, let's say, pain medication for a migraine, and then, or maybe something that's not in the head, but, back pain, and they would look and see what's going on in the brain then. And then they do the fMRI on a patient, same patient who's been given a placebo, and it's the same.
That's
So,
intriguing. So that
something is
implies
going on
something
in the
really is
brain.
happening in the brain. Not it's just because the other alternative is that not only is it that you think, quote unquote, that you're getting better when you're not through any physical means,
Yes.
but you might say you are just to please your doctor. I mean, that's a real thing. Just to
Right.
You don't want to be that obstinate person who this medication isn't working on unless you want to be, unless you're that person. Most people aren't though. So you just say, even though you really it feels about the same, you just say, no, that medicine you gave me worked fine.
Yeah. But these fMRI studies
That is
tell
interesting.
us that there is some connection between whatever the placebo is doing in your brain and your brain releasing probably dopamine or something like that, right? Because
Yeah.
dopamine.
Yeah.
So
Yes, or serotonin or something, right?
it's
Epinephrine.
dopamine. Yeah.
Epinephrine.
I just always hear those
She's
together.
throwing out like a chemical. Mercury? I don't know.
Estrogen, I
Is it
think,
estrogen,
maybe?
I
Yeah.
think progesterone. I think
So
testosterone.
And we touched on the fact that placebos might not work for everybody, or they might work differently in people. They have actually been doing studies, and this is very sciencey
Very sciencey.
and very hard to understand.
Okay.
Love it.
And I can't even read it, but I'm just going. I mean, I can read it,
She's illiterate. She's really opening up to us right
but I
now.
can't read it and understand
I
it.
never learned how to read.
It's about time you guys knew.
And the horrifying thing is, for about 5 minutes in college, I was going to be pre-med.
Wow.
Literally 5 minutes. And she
Yes.
said, never mind.
You choosing a different path saved a lot of lives.
I think you
That's
probably
what I
did.
think is what you're saying to us.
Anyhow, they have been doing genetic studies. And so they believe they have identified a gene or a snippet of a gene or something that has to do with whether or not somebody is susceptible to a placebo effect.
A placebo gene.
Yep. And it has
wanna see
something to
that.
do with enzymes that determine the release of the brain chemicals, Emma,
Epinephrine.
and epinephrine.
Really?
She's right.
All
I'm not
right.
bullshitting.
You're right. Brain chemicals that include dopamine and epinephrine.
And testosterone.
See, I know things.
No, not testosterone. I was kidding. I just threw that out
Oh
there.
no,
Don't agree with me.
I was agreeing with Rachel. Or
I'm Emma.
that girl over there.
One of your daughters.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
That's,
interesting.
I want that gene.
So yeah, that is so. So
Yeah.
that gene allows your your natural pain relief to be deployed. There is though, I believe, there is a cost for doing that though, a bodily cost for
do you
doing
mean?
that.
How so?
Why?
It's nothing in nature is free. I can't remember.
Liar.
I read somewhere that that's why you don't just always have a constant stream of this stuff because there is. I can't remember what it was.
I see what you mean.
I think you age faster.
That's why you're not supposed to. That's why you're not supposed to take like Molly and stuff.
See,
Floods your brain with serotonin.
yeah, you don't want to do that. There are some side effects of that. I just don't.
You can get serotonin
remember what they
syndrome.
were.
Never
You can
heard
get
of
what?
it.
Serotonin syndrome.
What's that? That sounds scary and fun.
I'll get back to you. I
Okay.
don't know how to explain it, but
But
it's
it's a bad thing.
serious and it's when your brain is flooded with serotonin. so many times or so extremely, and you can die from it.
See? I called it.
Wow, that's interesting.
Epinephrine.
Let me do a little Google search.
She's
Keep
going to
talking.
research. Okay.
Well, so now, this kind of goes against what good old Benjamin Franklin, his conclusion that it was imagination.
Well,
It's not really imagination because now through the fMRI, they actually can see parts of the brain lighting up.
it depends on how he meant the word imagination.
I know.
In the late 1700s,
They didn't know
maybe.
what they were talking
He
about.
probably what he really meant is it's psychological, but there wasn't that word as we use it now.
Correct.
In which case this is true because it is psychological,
Yeah.
but it's actually causing your brain psychologically to do real things. Yeah, the placebo is a psychological effect. The placebo effect, the whole mechanism is psychological. It's causing your brain to do real things, but it's still a psychological impact, psychological cause that triggers that dopamine or epinephrine to come out.
Well, here's
Yes.
the thing. If it's triggering serotonin for whatever reason, serotonin is a chemical that is produced naturally, obviously. It's needed for nerve cells in the brain to function. But when too much is given at one time or altogether, whatever,
Yeah.
it causes a mild case of serotonin syndrome would just be shivering and diarrhea. But
That's not good.
a severe case would be fever and seizures. So that's how you can die from it if you have extreme seizures or causes like your muscles to tense up. Probably like vasoconstriction and stuff like that.
Yikes. I don't want that.
Interesting.
You don't want that to happen.
No, I don't want it to happen.
Well, they also seem to think that the placebo effect is getting stronger.
What? Yes, it is. I totally believe that. Based on social media these days, I 100% believe that.
Well, because there is a 2015 study in the Journal of Pain.
Ooh, that's a good name.
I
my
know.
favorite
Almost
journal.
any kind of magazine.
Yeah. Actually, the journal is just called Pain.
Oh, okay.
I like Journal of
That's
Pain
even better, actually.
But they analyzed
Pain.
84 clinical trials of pain medication and found this was over a 23-year period, and they found that in some cases the efficacy of the placebo had grown sharply, and so it narrowed the gap with the drug's effect from around 27%, the gap between the actual and the
Okay.
placebo, to just about 9%.
Wow.
Yes.
So placebos in more recent clinical trials are working almost as well as the quote unquote real medication. Could that also be that new medications aren't as effective as old medications?
They don't think so.
It's not all cocaine and meth.
Well, because pharmaceuticals are notorious for wanting to have new medications, not necessarily better medications. Because they
Correct.
make more money.
No, they believe that it's the placebo effect growing
Interesting.
stronger, not the opposite, but I can't tell you why.
Because it's a secret, not because you don't understand
but some
it.
smarty pants doctors and researchers have come to that conclusion.
Carrie, just say it's a secret, and I can't. I'm able to. I'm not allowed
I'm
to.
legally
Yes.
unable to disclose that information at
Because it
this
would
time.
literally blow your mind, and I can't be responsible
Probably.
for
Yes.
your death.
They're also finding that placebos are growing in strength in antidepressants and antipsychotic studies also.
No more schizophrenia.
BetterHealth.com will be very upset about
Oh
that.
my god.
So they say there's that gap. It used to be 27%, now it's closer to 9. Does the FDA have rules on how much?
What the gap has to be?
Could
I
it
don't
just
know.
be 2% better? And
I was hoping you knew.
no.
We all were hoping
You don't know.
knew.
Well,
These
we can't answer
papers
that.
in front of me don't say anything like that.
My research that I made, it doesn't say it.
But so because of this, a lot more.
No, I like that. No, that's good. That's good. That's
More drugs
a lot of more drugs
going through the FDA approval process are,
Yeah,
being
or
stopped
not making the cut.
sooner in the process.
Interesting.
And more than 90% of pain medications fail at this stage
That's a
because
lot.
of it.
That's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Medication's failing.
Because they're just throwing everything out there.
Because they're just
Try
not as
this
good,
tree
yeah.
bark. Does that help at all? You know what? How about Prosecco? Could that be a pain medication?
That
they're
it is
saying,
for me.
So they're trying it. They're trying everything.
Well, so also, what do you think pharmaceutical companies would like to know about the people in their clinical trials?
Oh,
They would
want
like
to know if they have that gene.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to select out the people with the placebo gene.
Yep.
So they can have a bigger gap.
I don't like that at all.
Intriguing. Are they able to do that? Are they able? I mean, what is the marker? Is there a test?
I don't know.
There must be, otherwise-
or they wouldn't have been able
Yeah.
to discover it. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
I want to know if we have it. I bet Dad doesn't.
What?
You don't have that gene.
No, I don't.
I might.
But so this also suggests to doctors that the placebo and the actual medicine don't work in different, like through two different pathways.
They work the same way. They're both
Yep.
whatever. The pain medication is sending out that dopamine.
Yep. I mean, they used to think one was just psychological.
Yeah.
You thought you felt better, like
Yeah.
you said, so
Yeah.
you did. And the other one was actual physical response to medication.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There's still maybe some of that because I know you said there is some
Well, of
fMRI,
course, yeah.
and that's a fairly limited. I'm sure. I'm guessing that the cases where that fMRI has been used is very limited. So whereas the placebo effect is hugely widespread and has been done time and time again. So my guess is there is still at least an element of literal psychology in here where they think they're feeling better or even literally claim that they're feeling better even when they don't.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Well, so some doctors are thinking that, like you have said, the placebo-controlled clinical trial is not the way to.
But I took that all back. Am I going to have to put that on again here in a second after I hear this?
Well, it's still, I think, calls into question because then there's really no true control group.
Exactly.
Right.
There's no zero effect group when
You
the
have to
control
have-
group is
yeah.
is essentially having a medication,
Yes.
just of a different sort.
And they have done studies with groups getting, absolutely nothing. I don't have it in my notes, but there was one study where some patients got nothing. Some patients got a placebo with, this is great. It's gonna, with a lot of warmth and everything.
Yeah.
And another group got just a placebo, just here's a pill. And so the people who got nothing and knew they got nothing didn't improve. The group who got a placebo but just were given it with no ritual around it got a little bit better. And of course, the group that did the best was the group that got the placebo with a lot of attention.
Love and care.
This needs to be tested on ailments that have measurable impacts, objective measurable impacts. Like say it's IBS. Say, yes, you are having, not just you say you're feeling better, you are having literally less diarrhea. Or if they, and I know they can't do it, but if they could literally measure pain, your pain is actually objectively a 67, and the placebo is really only 30. Because if you stop and think about it, they're just so far, even with the fMRI, they're just measuring where the brain's pain trigger is. Are they really measuring dopamine and serotonin in the system? I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But that's fairly narrow, given the supposedly varied impacts of placebo. So I wonder if have they been able to test it on things where there are true, objective, concrete measures?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if they're not, it's still very questionable.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's still only helpful for things that your own body can help you with.
Yeah.
Right.
That to me, that's kind of suspicious. Or at least that narrows its efficacy, right?
Well, sure. Because it can't lower your cholesterol, right?
Right.
It can't
huge.
cure cancer.
Yeah.
It can't, although we'll talk about that in a second.
Ooh,
But
maybe it can.
So here's a quote from Ted, and it answers one of the
Teddy
questions
K.
that we had before.
Okay.
That placebos have been shown to be most effective for things like pain management, stress-related insomnia, and cancer treatment side effects like fatigue and nausea.
And nausea.
Yeah.
Okay. The nausea is a little more.
Yeah.
Because the nausea you can measure, yes, you threw up 5 times a day. Now you're throwing up 2 times a day. If
Right.
you can measure that, seems like a real impact.
Yeah. So what are some of the theories, like why it works? One is regression to the mean. When people go to a doctor to start on a clinical trial, their symptoms are real bad, right?
Yeah.
Or else they wouldn't be seeking treatment. But lots of times in the natural course of illnesses, you get better.
Yeah. Medication does the same. It benefits from the same process.
Exactly.
For sure.
And so they have done research, and around 1/3 of patients get better without anything, obviously. So time is going to heal a lot of people from a lot of things.
Time heals all wounds, I've heard told.
Another one is confirmation
Not
bias.
true at all, but oh yeah.
Confirmation bias. You hope to get better because you're in a treatment program. And so you just pay closer attention to your symptoms and whatever.
Or you convince yourself you're better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's something called the Hawthorne effect, where we change our behavior when we know we're being watched.
Yeah.
So,
Which is kind
same
of what I was
thing.
implying with that second one, whereas people want to get along with their doctor. So
Yeah.
I feel better.
Yeah.
People crave validation.
Yes.
You
Sure.
want your doctor to like you.
Yes.
You want to be a good test subject and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Expectation and learning is the other one. That basically the placebo effect is a response to something we've learned, right? Cause and effect. When we take a drug, we often get better. So we're given a drug, we expect
see.
to get better, so we get better.
Okay.
Morphine, very powerful drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
heard.
We know how it works, and you can become addicted to it.
I don't, but
But yeah, some people don't. Maybe that means you don't have the placebo
Don't
effect.
get
no, I don't know
addicted
how.
to
I
it,
don't know
or-
how it works.
Oh,
That's what
you
I'm
also
saying.
don't like to take it.
I
And-
don't like
yeah.
any
Oh, I
opiate
loved
whatsoever.
it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
but its pain relieving powers grow even stronger when we know we're taking it, and when it's given to us by a caring healthcare
See,
professional.
Right.
this is how I do know that opiates actually physically work, because I don't like it. In the past, I felt like they have not helped me that much. I had cause to have opiates recently, and so I had a fairly negative frame around it. This is not going to help that much.
Yeah.
It
It knocked
did.
the pain out very quickly,
Yeah.
very effectively. So I know
Oh,
opiates
yeah.
work
That's your own
personally,
little
anecdotally,
Yeah.
N of one, but still.
Yeah.
But in terms of how it works, I have no clue.
Yeah. Well,
You don't have to tell me.
I don't know how it works either. Studies of post-operative patients who are in pain, if their painkillers are administered by a hidden robot pump when they don't know it's being given to them, they need twice as much of it to get the same pain relieving effect as when the drug is injected by a nurse who comes into your room and
Interesting.
says, "I'm going to give you your pain medication."
Here it goes,
now."
whoosh, and they just make a noise, and they're not really doing anything. Hi, here it goes through the tube. Yay!
So when you see somebody coming in and they're telling you they're giving you pain medication, it works twice as well as when you're just giving it automatically and you don't know.
You call that hidden robot pump?
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's an anime. It's pretty good. It's on
Does
Netflix.
sound like it.
It's
Hidden robot pump.
an
And-
anthology. It's good.
And they've also done fake surgeries.
What?
And surgery is not typically a medical procedure that is studied the way medicines are with a control group and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, because how do you
Yeah,
know,
they
how do you
wheel
do
one
a fake
person in,
surgery?
take his kidney out. They will not wheel another person in. They don't do anything. They just hang out for a couple hours.
Is that ethical?
No,
Well,
it's not.
That doesn't sound.
Yes, it is.
Super
so
not
there's a
ethical.
I
doctor.
don't-
It depends on what the surgery is, but
Well, yeah. But just,
if you need
I don't
a
know. Surgeries are usually
heart
pretty important.
transplant, well, I'm going to tell you a study where they did it.
No, we
It-
tossed out your brother's kidney and just you did. You're on your own.
This is a doctor who he was like the orthopedic surgeon for like the Dream Team, the American basketball team, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So
Carries a huge basketball.
yeah, so and I don't remember his name, but
Shaquille O'Neal.
he did a lot of knee surgeries, as you might imagine.
I would think so.
especially treating sports people, and so he moved from one area of the country to another area to start practicing. And the new place that he went to, it seemed like they were doing a lot of surgeries for arthritis related knee stuff.
stuff.
There's,
The medical term.
It's pretty. She's getting pretty sciencey.
And he wasn't used to doing it, so he thought, and the patients were happy with the results; they were getting better. So he thought, before I was just injecting saline into their knees, and they were getting better.
Yeah.
So
I see. I thought that was actually their treatment. It's not. It's just.
it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but he decided to conduct a study, so he had to present it to some research board or whatever, however they do studies. And so what he did was he had a group. And everybody that came in, they all had the same issue with their knees. Everybody came in was told they were going to have surgery. So one group, they would come in and they would actually have the surgery, to, I don't know, fix their knee, whatever they did. The second group, they would be told they were having the surgery. They would come into the surgery room, and of course, nobody... It's supposed to be blind, right? But of course, the doctor has to know who he's performing surgery on. So nobody but the doctor would know, and wouldn't know until the patient was brought into the operating
okay.
room. And
a third group had gender reassignment surgery. Is that not true?
And everybody in the operating room had to do what they would be doing if they were doing the actual
Really?
surgery.
Was the person like a local anesthetic and they were awake, or were
No.
they really? So they're
General
completely
anesthesia.
unconscious and they're just like
Wow.
faking it.
So the second group,
Scalpel, and it just like gives them
And it's
a
arthroscopic.
chopstick or something.
it's arthroscopic, so
Yeah.
it's just little, pinholes in your knee, right? And so
Don't be downplaying arthroscopic surgery from someone who's had 3 of those.
I know.
It's serious.
I've had laparoscopic surgery.
Me
Same
too.
thing.
Now she's just humble
Bitch.
bragging.
And they're not pinholes; they look like knife wounds. Anyway,
Are you were knifed?
the second group went through the motions of surgery, but they actually got the saline injection. And then the third group went through the motions of surgery, put to sleep, got incisions in their knees or whatever, and got nothing.
So wait, what was the first group game? Because I was interrupting you needlessly just to be
I
annoying.
actually got the surgery.
Got the surgery. The second group was saline solution,
Saline.
but no surgery.
Yes.
And third group, nothing whatsoever. They played poker.
Yes. And no, they went through the motions.
Well-
and they made sure they spent the
Of
same
playing
amount of
poker.
time.
That's weird.
They spent the same amount of time in the operating room because
Yeah.
all these people had loved ones out
The-
there waiting.
Right.
The time makes sense, but the phantom surgical activity is weird because the patient is unconscious. So
That's the ritual.
Very unusual.
Yeah.
Unless they think he's going to have an out of body experience or
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
you never know.
Okay.
They wanted everything to be the same,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they all got better.
All of them equally, roughly. Okay.
They
Fuck
all
yeah.
reported feeling better. So I think he was trying to. I don't think he was necessarily trying to study the placebo effect. He was trying to study whether we should do saline injection or actual surgery.
You're basically telling hospitals and doctors to do nothing and still charge us the full bill.
Well, no, I'm not.
That's how they're going to interpret it.
Not.
And so some of this research even suggests that the fake surgeries have a stronger placebo effect than even the pills. And, and what those are being used for.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting? They found that the fake surgery effect, placebo effect, led to improvement 75% of the time.
What if I've never had surgery?
There was a meta review. That's a review of a whole bunch of different studies. Some people don't know what a meta review is.
I thought it's a
I
review.
didn't
It's a
know.
review by Facebook.
Found that there's essentially no difference in outcomes between real surgeries and fake ones.
That's scary.
I mean, obviously.
But these aren't. Yeah,
yes,
these
correct.
aren't
It depends.
cancer.
on- yes.
And okay.
Okay, so the next we're talking about how these things work. The one is pharmacological conditioning. So this is where here's a study, and this will tell you how conditioning works.
Okay.
For several days, a patient is being put on a drug for the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. And then, so for several days, they take the actual drug. And then just one day in the middle of it, they switch them to a placebo. And the patient still reports that they're having the same beneficial effects from the medication as they were all along. And so they think, on the day that you're given a placebo, it triggers a similar response in the brain as the real drug did. And they said you can see the brain locations associated with chronic pain and chronic psychiatric disease, like the whole depression and
They can measure
That
where
thing.
that's happening in the brain. And okay.
Yep. So this doctor that did the study on the Parkinson's patients found that the individual neurons in the brains of patients with Parkinson's disease still respond to placebos like it's the actual anti-Parkinson's drugs after they were conditioned with the actual drugs.
Yeah. My only suggestion that is, could the built-up impact of the actual drugs be still what's causing them to?
I imagine not, because they probably then tried what happens when you stop taking the drug altogether.
But I mean,
It would
oh,
go
yeah,
away. I mean, these people are smarter than us. I'm assuming they've thought of that.
Excuse me. Speak for yourself.
So we know what conditioning is, the whole Pavlov's dogs thing. You ring a bell and the dog
Pavlov's
salivates
dogs.
because you've conditioned them because you ring a bell
Correct.
every time you give them food. So,
That's still how Carrie feeds her children.
well, we do know every time we open the pantry door, the dogs come running. Every time they hear something that they know they have gotten food from before, they will come running.
Or
So-
they see you putting on
Oh yeah.
tennis shoes or
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. You put on your shoes, they're going for a walk.
And so, okay, so the next one is the human connection. So this is the whole IBS thing. IBS is a very hard condition to treat. And, there are actual physical effects, really bad stomach cramps and stuff like that. And doctors really, I think one reason is because doctors really don't know what the cause of it is. They haven't figured that out yet. And it's one thing that, like, you think of with other diseases or physical issues that, people have been accused it's just all in your head.
Oh, IBS. People have been IBS accused of
yeah.
that? Oh, I didn't know that.
I did not know that. You're really pooping.
Yeah. That seems weird.
So
Yeah, but what happens when you're super anxious? Your tummy hurts and you have diarrhea.
Yeah.
So it still could,
So it could be psychological then, if that's true. So in other
That's
words,
what people think.
your stress is causing your stomach to be irritated,
correct.
potentially, unless they show.
It could be.
If they're not showing, like, I don't know, I'm making this up, but like swollen stomach lining or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, then it's possible that it is caused by psychological. Not that they're not really cramping, but they're cramping for a psychological reason.
Right.
but anyway, IBS is one of the things that being studied with placebos, they have found that the patients get much better or have better results when the placebos are given to them in a very warm and caring environment versus not.
Because people with
And-
tummy aches are really brave.
Okay.
It's an online joke.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Like people
And-
don't realize I have a tummy ache right now. I'm being so brave.
I don't like to use the word hero or courageous, but I will.
And people also get the placebo effect if they've been told it's placebo
Yeah.
with
You mentioned
IBS patients. Yeah, which is very interesting. Let me see. Oh, here's another study real quick with inhalers.
Whoa.
People with-
what? Are you going to
so-
let asthma sufferers die because of to test placebo?
This is why that's interesting. So asthma patients were randomly sorted into 3 groups. One group got an inhaler with albuterol, which is the actual medication, another which physically opens up the airways, right? Make it
Yeah.
easier to breathe. Another group got an inhaler with a placebo,
Another got
Which is
dry
scary.
dog shit.
and they're also being monitored by
Yeah.
medical.
Did they make it
professionals.
smell the same, I wonder? I don't know if albuterol smells like.
or
but,
taste the same.
Or
Probably.
taste. Oh, that's
I
right. It
don't
wouldn't be
know.
a taste, wouldn't there?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
sure they did because that is a factor with placebos.
You know how they
Yeah.
did it? They used albuterol. I was like, oh, that's right.
Damn it.
Damn, we screwed
Fuck.
that up.
And a third group, to be the control group, they got sham acupuncture.
Oh,
the
that's
knee-
completely different.
It went through the motions of acupuncture, but they didn't actually puncture the skin. And then the fourth group got
Gender
nothing.
reassignment. Oh, sorry.
Stop.
And so
Imagine you going like, yeah, like you're in college.
in the study.
Yeah, I'll do in the study for $50, and you get gender reassignment.
So we know you can actually measure lung function, right?
Yes.
There's 2 ways to measure it. One is self-reporting from the patients who say how well their asthma symptoms were relieved.
Okay.
And the other one is an objective measure of lung functioning, by which method I don't know what it is. But
They make him breathe
doctors know
into
what it
things. I've seen that.
yes.
I think I did that once.
You
I feel like I did for some reason. I don't know why.
breathed into something?
Yes.
I've
to
breathed into
measure.
To measure your lung function.
Yeah, to measure lung
Oh
function.
yeah, totally.
I don't remember why or how or when.
Lots of times you have that
I blacked it up.
when when you've had surgery or you're in the hospital
It was
for a long
something.
time. But
Like, no, I've
you-
never been in the hospital
I
for a long
know,
time. But
so I don't know. Well, so if you go by the self-reports from these people,
Yeah.
it looks like the placebo, albuterol, and sham acupuncture are all equally effective.
shacupuncture. Huh.
The objective measure only shows improved airflow, right?
For-
It can't
Oh, okay.
it can't
Yes.
measure a placebo effect. It can only measure an actual effect
Yeah.
in your body. And so as we've talked about, placebos can only help symptoms that, can be modulated by something already in your body.
Yes.
So the actual testing of the actual airflow of the patients showed that only the albuterol treatment
There you go.
worked.
So the placebo effect can work if it triggers something in your brain that can actually like flood you with serotonin again.
Right.
But if it's something that can't be done by just your own internal mechanisms, it's not going to
Yeah.
have an impact.
Yes.
Yep. But I wonder if for something like asthma sufferers, if you feel better,
Yeah. Well, okay.
will you?
So
will-
that is the placebo effect, right? You said
Yeah.
that all three conditions felt better. We know for a fact, objectively, that 2 of the 3 weren't any better physically,
Right.
but they still claimed they did.
That is the definition.
That is
interesting.
That's the definition of the placebo effect as kind of a psychological effect.
Yeah.
But that shows that there is a psychological placebo
Yeah.
effect that is doing nothing biological to your body.
So that makes it difficult to separate that psychological effect that
Yeah.
test just proved from even those conditions where your body can do something, where your
Yes.
brain can do
Yes.
some mechanism.
But so it also tells us, okay, doctors, don't give asthma sufferers
Yes.
placebos, but you
Yes.
can give the person with lower back pain a
A
placebo.
lot of people died during that test.
lot.
But it was worth it. We now know this factoid. And they got to smell minty, fresh asthma thingies. What inhalers?
It's not minty.
On that thing, real quickly,
Mm-hmm.
there's a some sort of treatment for lower back pain that has something to do with the spine where they inject like a concrete, some kind of concrete. I'm sure it's not actual concrete.
What the fuck?
But they inject it into your vertebrae somewhere. And so you go into the doctor's office and they have these, fancy
Concrete
equipment.
injectors.
and you can smell
Makes a
it.
huge loud noise.
But it's
Bend
very,
over.
It's very clear what's happening to you, and you can smell the substance, whatever it is, and you get it injected, and you feel great. They
Smell
also,
that. No.
Now get out.
So they've done a test where they bring you into the office where they have all this fancy equipment, and they have this machine, and they have this thing where you lie down and you can smell the substance they're going to inject in your back, and they don't.
Wow.
They probably inject saline or something else, and you think you feel
Phenomenal.
you feel much better. Your pain
Wow.
is gone or whatever.
But again, pain is something that can
Exactly.
be controlled by the mind.
But
Yes.
but they determined that smelling it is
Yeah.
a factor too.
Okay.
So
But the smelling.
yeah,
huh,
I
okay.
know,
It's
weird, huh?
breathing,
It's
man.
just all part of the whole experience. I'm
Smell that.
guessing.
Smell it. Smell it.
So
got weird.
medications that negate the effects of did you want to say something?
Yes.
What?
Okay.
A
Jeez.
little
raised her hand.
Smelling is usually it's a really powerful sense we have. I've seen a few doctors say a little hack if you don't have any medication that will help with nausea, sniffing an alcohol pad or alcohol wipe can quickly maybe help nausea. So yeah, smell is a really strong
interesting.
sense.
Life hack. The more you know.
Yep, there you go.
So another way to prove that the placebo effect actually does work by, brain chemical stuff. They
Very technical.
Gary has great respect for science, but the actual mechanism of science,
Doesn't
she's
give a fuck.
we
very
don't need
flippant.
the details. Drugs that negate the effects of opioids, like the Narcan, naloxone, what you're given
I'll
if
take your word for
you're,
it.
well, naloxone is the whatever. But anyway, it's what they give you if you're being, if you're having an overdose, right?
Okay.
On opioids.
To save you from opioids. I don't know if I said that right. So if you're given a placebo pain medication and they give you naloxone, same thing happens.
If they give you placebo
Wait.
Narcan.
So yeah, placebo Narcan?
No
No
real,
Narcan.
Real
Wait,
Narcan.
okay.
They give you a placebo pain medication.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
Okay.
So you think, I'm getting better because I'm on this opioid or whatever. Then they give you naloxone or Narcan,
Yeah.
and it takes away the pain medication that you think you've been
Oh.
given, just like it would if you had taken a real opioid.
What?
Well, that makes, and which actually makes sense though, because
Yes.
again, not to harp on it, but pain. The brain told you you were feeling better. Now the brain is being told the Narcan's going to mitigate that, going to negate that. So now it says your pain's worse, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, but it's actually stopping the dopamine or whatever
Yeah,
your body,
I know.
Correct,
whatever.
I know.
It's working
That's what I
on
meant.
your body's internal pain medication the same
Yes.
way it works on the pill that you took.
That's exactly what I meant.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said it nicer though.
She did say it nicely.
Well, I thought that what you were getting at was that people are susceptible, that the placebo effect also works for the naloxone.
I wish we never brought up this subject.
No. We understand.
Well, interestingly enough, the last thing I want to talk about is that it can work in things other than pain and stuff like that. Stanford was doing some studies on weight loss,
What?
and it seems to work in a weight loss capacity too.
I think I can think myself skinny.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm
Some
gonna try.
charlatan's going to write a book called
It
that.
would be great. Let's write that down.
Actually, yeah.
Think
Actually,
yourself
skinny.
skinny.
Actually, take this whole thing out and write the.
Right.
Like if you're told that milkshake is a diet milkshake,
Does it bring all the boys to the yard, or
I think it
does it
does.
not? If
I'm
it's-
pretty
if
sure it
it's-
does.
then-
Does a fake milkshake still bring the boys to the yard? I believe that's true.
The study I'm conducting.
because of the
Every day in the yard, I conduct this study.
the brain gut connection, right, is a real thing.
Brut.
Correct.
The Brut connection.
And the brain is releasing like peptides and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
You're missing some carry hand motions. They're classic.
This is having to do with weight loss and
Okay.
all that kind of
All
stuff.
right.
And how your body, I guess, maybe
Yeah.
processes food.
I guess metabolism,
gut.
right? Is it? No, that doesn't make sense. I don't
No,
know.
it's not metabolism.
Okay.
It's literally chemicals in your body.
Okay.
And so you can have that milkshake if you think it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
So
Okay.
I don't know what the actual
Yeah, there needs to be some more study there
yeah.
because that doesn't make.
But this is being done. It's being studied at Stanford. So
Okay.
Well, we'll check back in.
We will, Stanford.
We'll keep.
Stanford, you know what? Stanford, give us a call. We'll decide if
Put
what
us
you're
on an
doing
emailing
is
list.
valuable. Okay.
And let us know the updates.
And the other one,
The study is called Boys in the Yard, a comparative study.
it's called Think Yourself Skinny.
where they talked about it helps for the effects of insomnia.
Yeah.
So if you think you're going in for a sleep study or whatever because you have really bad insomnia, patients who are told, so you wake up, how'd you sleep? Oh, I slept terribly. I was, I feel like I was up every hour or whatever. And so they look at the readouts and, because you're connected to machines and stuff. And if the person in the sleep study goes, when I look at your results, no, here it says here, you actually had, this much uninterrupted REM sleep and blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
So if you're told you got a good night's sleep, and then they do, because what's the effect of insomnia? Like bad cognitive stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can't think straight. You can't react well to things. So then they do cognitive tests on these people and they perform as if
Wait.
they had gotten a good night's sleep.
The ones who didn't think they got a good night's sleep
Yes.
still performed. Really?
Yes.
It's like, dude, you had 7.5 hours of sleep and a wet dream. You did fine. Don't even worry about it.
because they were told they slept well.
Okay.
Huh.
Isn't that
Huh.
interesting?
Yeah, that is.
That is
but,
very weird.
But wait. So, okay. So they said, I didn't sleep well. They said, and they're told, yes, you did.
Uh-huh.
And what if they didn't sleep well and told, yes, you did? Would that have, that would be more of a placebo effect, I feel like.
No. What do you mean? If they didn't sleep well?
If they did not sleep well,
Yeah.
told they did sleep well, and then they performed better on those cognitive tests, that would be a placebo effect.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, I thought you said they didn't sleep well. I thought you said they did sleep well and were told they did.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm
they
so
didn't sleep
confused.
well.
So confused.
When they woke up, they're
Yes.
asked, how do you feel? How did you sleep?
Yeah.
And they said, I slept terribly.
yeah.
Oh, and when I said the researcher says, oh, here it says you slept good, they're lying to them.
Oh,
They didn't sleep
That's
well.
a key point that you left out. I thought that they did sleep
No,
well.
no,
And they
no.
just didn't realize they did sleep well.
No.
Okay.
They did not.
Does that ever happen?
Hugely important point, Carrie. Hugely important point. Yes. In other words, people who think I thought you were going with like some of this insomnia is a little bit, I don't know, psychosomatic. That
no.
you think you don't sleep well, but you actually did.
No,
Key point.
I'm not sure that's a
Okay.
thing. But no, they were being lied to.
Okay.
To study the placebo effect on
Gotcha.
insomnia.
Interesting.
So I think what we should do
What?
is, they have all those sleep tracker things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have the sleep tracker say, hey, congratulations, you got a great night's
That's a good
sleep.
idea, no matter
See
what.
what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wonder what would happen because there are physical effects.
Yeah.
Yes,
of
there
not
are.
sleeping well. Mm-hmm. So
IBS.
I don't think so.
Fibromyalgia.
Probably. So anyway,
Boys
I
to
don't
the
know.
yard.
I think it's super interesting. I would like to know if I was in that genetic group.
Me too.
That is susceptible to placebos.
I
or
can
not.
tell you for a fact, Dean is not.
Carrie, I know for a fact you are. You're not tired. You don't have any pain. Your eye feels fine despite you put all kinds of soap in it when you took a shower.
Yeah, it's better now.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
But and they also think that the people who are in the no placebo group
Mm-hmm.
can be harmed by placebos.
What?
Yeah, don't ask me.
Seems like a hex.
It's a very interesting thing to leave us
On that weird note, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And it's scary because now I
Yeah.
think if I take a sugar pill, I could die.
No, I don't
And then
think so.
also, we're not going to talk about it here, but we did touch.
There's lots of things Carrie's not going to talk about here in
I'm
this
giving
episode.
our listeners a homework assignment.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
All right.
much better.
Because
Yes, they'll
we
appreciate
did
that.
touch upon it on a Dean episode.
What was it?
I don't remember, but
No.
we talked about the nocebo effect.
Oh yes, the nocebo effect. That was about the folks who
The Asian people who died, the
Asian death
immigrants,
syndrome.
yeah.
Oh, I remember
Yes,
that
the
one.
nocebo effect, which actually can have a negative impact. You think you're going to suffer from that, whatever, and
Yes.
you do, even though there's no physical connection
Correct.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yes, that's bad.
It's very bad.
Let's not do that.
No.
Okay. And what's the homework?
To watch that
To
episode.
look up the nocebo.
The
effect.
nocebo effect. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Or just listen to that past episode.
Yeah.
Episode.
It's fairly recent. I
Yeah, it
think.
was.
Yeah. So that's all I know about the placebo effect.
That's a lot, Carrie.
I might know a little bit more about
I-
it. I'm withholding.
Well, she has hinted at some
She
things.
can't tell us.
She can't. She's
legally.
not allowed. Yeah, she'd have to
That's
kill
true.
us. Well, thank you, Carrie, for
You're
that
welcome, Dean.
treatment of the placebo effect. Again, we'll
Yeah,
call
yeah.
this Boys to the Yard, the placebo effect. Until next time, everyone, rock on.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Okay.